The band Kiss has announced that although they are retiring, they will continue on performing live shows as digital avatars. Isaiah, how familiar are you with the band Kiss?
I'm familiar.
How many songs do you know?
Of Kiss?
Yeah.
I'm sure I know a handful.
I can think of two myself. Detroit Rock City, because it was in Rock Band, and obviously I Want to Rock and Roll All. Everybody knows that song. They just performed their final show as a band at Madison Square Garden in New York City. But at the end of that show, they revealed that although the characters of Kiss, Space Ace, Catman, Gene Simmons, although they are not going to be performing live anymore, they are now going to be immortalized as digital avatars, and they unveiled these digital avatars that will be continuing on. You'll be able to go to live Kiss shows where Kiss themselves won't be there, but the digital avatars will, and they perform out in the audience.
And I imagine when they announced this, because, you think about Kiss, their fans, a little bit of an older crowd.
Yes.
And so I imagine when they announced that they were going to live on as digital avatars, the crowd went, come on now. Know your audience.
I don't know. It looks like the crowd is pretty hype.
Oh, are they?
You could say their fans are older. Their fans are also very dedicated. And Kiss has done a remarkable job of merchandising and marketing themselves over the years.
They have. They killed that. That's their thing.
But by the way, they filled up Madison Square Garden, so they're doing something right. Do you think, though, people will be interested? Could this be the future of concerts?
I'll tell you.
Digital avatars?
This is kind of how I imagine it. I can see it now.
Okay.
50 years from now, they got this weird, dark indoor stage set up in the corner of, Universal Studios or some random weird spot in Vegas. People pay $10 to go around, stand in this dark, smelly room while watching virtual Kiss play a medley of their old songs. Most people buy a ticket just to go inside and cool off because it's hot outside.
That's how you picture this.
This is how I picture this.
But think about this, though, right? Let's say you're let's say you're NF.
Okay.
And most of your money probably comes from touring, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I would say he probably
a lot
makes
of it does.
Most of his money that way. And he's only one man. And he's also got a family he needs to hang out with. He's also got to spend time writing and making new music. So what if he could either tour simultaneously, you put on 2 tours at once, or, who's to say 2, 3, 5, 10, where your digital avatar is at all the other ones and you're just at one? Or why even tour at all? Why not just send the digital avatar out there?
Back in my day, son, the artists used to be at the concert with you. It was crazy.
But that's so old school.
It wasn't a picture of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you could obviously just stand in your own home or have a party and listen to their music, very similar. But the difference of the concert is the artist is there. You get that connection with them. You can see them. They're dancing. It's a performance.
Yeah.
Instead of just the music video and then you out there dancing with people. It seems kind of bad.
I don't know.
With it. And are people, obviously people want to see older artists live, but there's lots of artists that have passed. And if you saw them live, that's like this nice pin that you have on your shoulder. If you saw the Beatles live, if you saw Elvis live, think of all these people that are never going to get to see them live. And for me, if you say there's a virtual show, does that make me feel special? Not like they saw it. It's different.
Not the same, but I don't know. If you gave me the chance, it's like you can never see the Beatles live, but you could see, or Elvis or whoever, but you could see their virtual avatar. I think people are going to consider it. Especially, look at this. Kiss is not the first band to do this. I'll wrap it up with this. ABBA has already gone forward with this. Their shows that they do with their digital avatars, ABBA, change your mind.
Give me. Yeah, I know it.
$2 million.
Very
week.
impressive.
A week.
But listen, I feel like with ABBA, that's like you could put on a disco and have people out there dancing, and then that's just on in the background. It's kind of like a fun little concert where I feel like Kiss doesn't really fit that same vibe. Kiss is like, you're rocking when you're in there. I think
part of it is the band, but here's maybe what we have to consider. Part of it is what you just mentioned with ABBA, the atmosphere.
The nostalgic disco for ABBA works better, I think, than
listen, what better example than Taylor Swift? You think Taylor Swift does a digital avatar? You think people aren't going to pay an arm and a leg to go see it?
I hope not.
Wasn't that a great Riot clip? While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.